Patrick Rooney here with Old School, oldschoolus.com. I want to start a series of videos here about overcoming injuries, working on particular things, and getting yourself strong again. And I wanted to show you something. I'm using the bar back here, and I'm going to show you a little bit of something with the rings here. And first of all, I injured my shoulder way back. I had a very slow healing shoulder injury with this shoulder over here. And what I did, I was doing some bench dips, and I went a little too far with my bench dips. And if you go a little too far, you can really mess up the shoulder. That's what I did, and I really tweaked it. And I've had shoulder injuries before, many injuries over the years. Long story. But in any case, I'm looking for ways to help myself get back in the game, get my shoulder working again. I came across a guy's book on, I found it on the internet. I heard Joe Rogan and different people talking about this guy. His name is Dr. John Kirsch, MD. And he is an orthopedic surgeon, lives in Wisconsin. He's retired now. He wrote a book called Healing the Shoulder, I believe it was called. Now I forgot the name of the book. The book is called The Shoulder Solution. I believe it's called The Shoulder Solution to Pain. In any case, I will put it in the description of this video, and I'll put a link to the book, and I'll put a link to Dr. Kirsch's website. This guy is a very interesting guy because he found there's a lot of people who will tell you how to overcome injuries, but a lot of times people will make it too hard. They'll make it too difficult, and they'll make themselves look like the great, healer, and they'll show you all sorts of fancy stuff. Some of these people are very good, but I think to some degree we see too much stuff that goes too far, that's too complicated. We want to make things very simple. And Dr. John Kirsch made it very simple with the shoulder. And he shows a protocol that he's supposedly had great success with many people over the years. His book is now in its 5th printing on Amazon. I highly recommend it. You should definitely check out the book if you have any shoulder issues. Now I've been doing hanging from bars, like I'm going to show you here in a minute. I've been doing that for a long time. I've had, as I say, I've had a lot of injuries over the years, and my body's still a little bit tweaked. I always have to kind of do stuff to it to kind of straighten it out. And if you lift heavy weights, you're lifting on your shoulder, you're doing heavy squats or something like that, or you're doing heavy deadlifts, what you're tending to do is pull your body down into the ground and kind of shorten your body. So the guy that does the Strong Lifts website, which is a really nice website as well, Strong Lifts, he has recommended hanging. And it's kind of like it's a kind of a fix for the body that gets too pushed into the ground. You want to sometimes do things with it to pull it out and let the vertebrae kind of give them a little bit of space. I've always had very tight vertebrae back here, almost to the point of burning sometimes when I do certain exercises. So I've always needed to kind of get that space back. And so, anyway, getting back to Dr. Kirsch and what the gentleman, I forgot his name, Mehdi, I believe his name is, that does Strong Lifts. A lot of people have talked about hanging over the years. It used to be done a lot more than it is now. Not a lot is done anymore. And Dr. Kirsch says that when you hang, you are, let's say I'm hanging here on a bar. My situation and a lot of people's situation with their shoulder is basically more than likely an impingement. An impingement is basically the bone, there's a bone that's coming here from the top, and your tendon has a small space to get through. And so sometimes age, or if somebody's not doing enough, stretching and things like that, the bones will tend to come closer together, and the tendon will have less and less space in which to go through. So the idea of the hanging is to start creating space again, and you're kind of pushing up with the bone. There's an acromion bone up there. You're basically pushing that up with your tendon, and you're basically, when you do hangs, enough of them for enough period of time, you're kind of refashioning the bone to give yourself a little bit more space, and that can make all the difference in the world with impingement. Certain people have had very quick cures with this. Now, for me, I have not had any quick cure whatsoever, but I think little by little it's doing me some good. If you're going to do any of this stuff, if you have an injury, obviously, first of all, go, see a doctor, get yourself checked out. get looked at, make sure that you know what's going on. If you need to have a surgery, you may need to have a surgery. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm a personal trainer and a health coach, but I'm not a doctor. So you have to make your own determination on that. I can't make that for you. What I can say is that from what I've seen of people over the years, there are ways to make things better. Now, whether that stops you from having to do shoulder surgery or not, I can't say. But Dr. Kirsch has many patients that he said have sweared by this doing the hanging protocol that actually has stopped them from having to go get surgery. Okay, so let me get right into this, and what I recommend, and what is recommended in his book too as well, is that you hang and start to hang a little bit of time at a time. You may hang up to maybe 10 seconds to start. You may hang for about 30 seconds. And I've got my feet on the ground here, and I won't do any, right now they're on the ground. So I'm going to show you in a moment, in a minute here, I'll be taking my feet off the ground. But at first, especially if you have a problem, an injury or something, don't do anything that puts yourself into pain. Dr. Kirsch in his book does talk about some of this stuff will hurt for a little while. I don't know if I'm so quick to personally tell you, hey, do something that will cause you pain. But if you can if you can hang on a bar with your feet on the ground and it doesn't really cause you pain, which mine doesn't right now. There are certain things that cause my shoulder a lot of pain. This really doesn't cause me pain, so I can hang here. I can hang here for up to a minute if I wanted to. So what I do is, some of the people in Dr. Kirsch's book will hang a little bit every day. If they've got a real serious issue, they will hang every day just to keep working, keep creating that space in the bone so that the tendon can move through. My issue is I don't necessarily hang fully every day because I get very sore in the shoulder, and I don't want to irritate the shoulder and make it worse. So I only do mine, right now I'm doing mine about 3 times a week. I could do hangs for a little bit each day if I wanted to, kind of assisted hangs. I could do those every day with no problem. But when I'm talking about a full hang, what I will do, and again, I wouldn't recommend to do this if there's a great deal of pain with it, but what I do is I basically brace myself first. If I'm going to do a full hang, I kind of brace myself. I'm pulling my shoulders down, and I'm kind of bracing the body, and then I'm able to grip, brace, and hold. And you can see my feet would be off the ground. I can put my knees up so you can just see that quite easily. And I can hold these. I can only hold it for so long, and I might start feeling a certain amount of pain, but I can generally hold it up to at least about 20 seconds or something like that. And then I'll just kind of let off and come back to the ground. And I can do those, I'll generally do those about 3 times a week, a full hang for maybe 20 seconds at a time, about 3 times. You're going to do as much as you can without pain, so as much as you can do. And if you can, you don't have to have a shoulder injury, by the way, to be doing this. In fact, it's better if you start to do hangs from a bar without having an injury, because you're going to keep the space in your body and you may never have to get the shoulder injury. In other words, there's preventative maintenance to do on a body, just like a car, that can save you from having an accident or having a problem with your car. So I definitely recommend that at first. So again, you might be able to do it every day, but for me, I just do 3 times a week, and I work myself up to 3 sets of about 20 seconds each. That's the hanging portion of it. I'm going to show you another portion of it as well. He recommends some work with very light dumbbells. I'm just using little 2-pounders right here. And so he recommends that after doing the hanging, that you actually use the dumbbells. There's 3 exercises I'm going to show you. And these exercises just tend to strengthen the shoulder girdle from different angles. So it tends to keep my particular shoulder. One of the reasons it got injured to begin with is because it tends to come out almost like come out of socket. And so I need to do certain exercises that kind of bring it back and hold it in. And so the first exercise is just is a front raise. And I'm going to first of all kind of bring my shoulder and kind of keep it in a position where it's back in the socket, and then I'm going to raise them up. Okay? And he recommends you do like 30 of these. You know, you wake yourself up if you can't do them. Whatever you can do, you're just raising them up, all the way. And for me, it gets to be a little bit of a problem once I get about here, but go up as far as you can. You go, further and further if you can. So go all the way up to where your hands are basically going towards the ceiling. That would be the ultimate if you could do that. But just do whatever you can. And you're going to do about, up to about 30 with these. So that's a front raise. Now the second exercise you do, and you could do one set of 30 of each of these. I don't remember the exact protocol he had in the book. It might be up to 3 sets of 30 each, but that sounds like a little bit much. I would say at least one set of 30 in each direction should be pretty good. And as far as, again, you can start with 1 pound dumbbells. You can go up whatever, higher and higher, as long as you can handle the strength of it. It doesn't tweak your body too much. Now the second one is just a side raise. So my palms are down, and I'm just going up as far as I can. So my shoulders again are in good position, and I'm going up. You don't need to go any further than out like a T. Okay, so you're going out like that, and you're just going, I'm going to do up to 30 of those. So that's the second exercise, and as you can see, these are for the side part of the deltoid of the shoulder. Okay, and then the third exercise is simply, I'm going to show you from the side here, and it's to get the back, the rear deltoids. So I'm going to bend at the waist, and I'm going to bring back the hands. Notice my palms are going down towards the ground. And the same thing, I'm working those rear deltoids, rear part of the shoulder, and I'm just going to, you can work yourself up to 30 like that as well. Okay, and that's essentially it. And again, I'm not doing those every day of the week. I'm doing those 3 times a week along with my other exercise. So I do my full workout, I do my full warm-up. I usually do these as part of my warm-up. I do some hangs after I'm warmed up a little bit. Make sure your shoulders are warmed up some before you do anything, or this is a rule for any part of the body. Warm up the body before you do anything. So you warm up to get the shoulders warmed up. I just do rotations. I'll move them in different directions. Just regular jump roping or running around. Anything cardio is going to get your body warmed up anyway a little bit. So just warm up the shoulders nice and good. I have a stick. Sometimes I do stick exercises, just to warm up the body. There's many different things you can do. Perhaps I'll do another video on these sometimes. But there's a lot of good stuff on the internet as well. Other people have some good stuff. So that's it. Warm them up, and then after I'm warmed up, I will do some hangs. I'll usually do my regular workout after that. And then at the very end of my workout, after I've kind of lifted heavy weights and stuff, then I will go back and do a little bit more hangs at the end as well, just to kind of stretch out the whole body again and get it going. I think that covers it. Again, John Kirsch, MD, orthopedic surgeon, retired now in Wisconsin. I actually done some communicating with him over email, and he's a very nice gentleman. And I think people who are trying to help people instead of just pushing them into surgeries, again, I don't know if you need a surgery or not, but you can go there's plenty of people I think that are pushing people towards surgeries without really knowing. So this guy, you make a lot more money if you push people into surgeries, but if you actually tell people, hey, you may not need a surgery, that's doing a service for mankind as far as I'm concerned. So my hat's off to Dr. Kirsch, and I wish him the best with his book. But if you have any shoulder injuries at all, I would at least look at his book before, if you can, before moving forward, and try some of the exercises that he shows in his book. But it's great stuff, and very, very helpful. All right, anyway, I plan to do more of these to show you different things that I'm doing, but these, I want to show you things that can be done to keep somebody who's my age. I'm 59 now, and I'm still working out. I want to be able to pass that on to you and show you little tricks and things that I've learned so that you can keep going in your life and keep training till as long as you want to, basically. So go to oldschoolus.com, oldschoolus.com for more information. Like the video. You can subscribe, certainly. It'd be great if you subscribe. Ring the bell icon, so that you can get the stuff as soon as it comes out. And if you see value in the video, spread it around. Send this video around to other people. So thanks very much for being with me. I look forward to seeing you next time.